Welcome to Office Hours at TradersPost for September 2nd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, Marketing Manager here at TradersPost, alongside Mike Christensen, co-founder and CSO. We're always working to make TradersPost better day in and day out. Each week, we take a deep dive into all things TradersPost, answering your questions, gathering your feedback, and helping you get the most out of the most advanced trade execution engine on either side of the Mississippi. To that end, we encourage you to submit your questions in the chat, and we'll get to them by the end of the stream. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Just wanted to notify everyone, in case you haven't seen it, we did put out just a little video, a little notice to let everyone know that one of the pain points that people had with trading futures with TradersPost when coming from TradingView is that you did not have access when you're using the continuous future symbol on TradingView to the contract, the name of the contract that TradingView was actually displaying on the chart. It was a big problem, and it really annoyed people. Well, right now, TradingView has taken a step in the right direction, and they have added the current contract variable to PineScript. So if we head over to, let me just pull that up here. If we head over to TradingView for the reference manual, we'll be able to see that we have, Peter, you want to pull up my screen? We have the sim info current contract that is available. So now within TradingView, when you're dealing with PineScript, you're setting up any sort of automated trading strategy, you can go ahead and use this variable. And when you're on the continuous future symbol, it will default to the underlying contract. Now, you'll still have to remember, like you'll have to still put in checks of, hey, is the order that I sent before on the same contract as the one that I am right now, right? So because if you had a position that was open at one point and then the contract switched over, TradingView would send a new one, so you'd have to make that check. And also, if you're on any other symbol, that if you're on the actual contract itself, it'll return NA as the response as opposed to the name of the contract. So you just have to make sure you do some checks in order to make sure that you're getting the variable that you need at the end. But it's still great in the right direction. There is a small pain point here, Mike, where we can't use this in the alert as a placeholder. So I'm going to go ahead and create a post on Reddit in the TradingView subreddit, and just go ahead and hey, we'll just direct everyone there to +1 +1 +1, because it seems like the pine coders did listen to it. Just to make it very clear, hey, people want this inside of the placeholders. But pretty happy about that. Next
All that
up,
said, I know in the past, Tom, we've built a script that does a message replacement technique. I assume in PineScript you can use this method that you've made in the past to replace a placeholder that might be in an indicator-based message with the actual current contract. Is that right?
that's correct. You could still use that technique. Right now would be a little bit more cumbersome because we don't need to actually build out the contract name, because we could just use the variable, but you can still have the replacement, so that you could, within an indicator, within a text field, you can then have your own custom placeholders, if you will, that are used.
So at least for those that are doing automated futures trading and have their own strategy and they're sending their JSON message from their PineScript, this is a quicker way for you to now trade the continuous futures symbol, but get the current contract to send over to TradersPost, so that we're trading the right contract for you. Is that all correct?
That's right. You could even have it set up that, let's say you open up the position and the contract did change afterwards. You could just make sure that your script always sends on a closed position whatever the contract was at the time that the contract was open, so that you just have this automatic thing that closed positions will always close an existing one, but new ones can start on the new contract.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a brave new world, Mike, and I'm here to be part of it.
I love it. We're almost there. Once we have the placeholder, that was the game changer for everybody. Now we make it a lot easier for you to set up alerts and never have to worry about the rollovers ever again. Just trade the continuous symbol.
So the for next up, what I wanted to talk about today for office hours is the pain that I feel when trading on price action live. Mike, you're right there with me. I know you know these pains. And when I feel what we call in French un douleur de cœur, pain in my heart, I think to myself, is there a script or a tool I can make that will make my life easier? And I'm thinking we can. We've talked about this a few times. Some of the different features that that an indicator could have in order to help people trade better. A nice little prop firm wish list, if you will. And I thought it might be fun to go over a couple of those things today, because on Thursday I like to just go ahead and bang that out. Just get those tools out for you guys. To begin with, Mike, what I know we've tossed around the idea of a script that monitors what your maximum allowable drawdown is if a strategy would have passed an evaluation and all that sort of thing. But I was hoping we could take one step back to just upgrade how we're trading right now, which is we're placing lines on a chart on TradingView, and those lines on the chart we are tying alerts to, so that when they get crossed, a signal gets sent to TradersPost in order to execute that trade.
Correct.
So as I'm moving the line around, I think to myself, Tom, why not make an advanced TradersPost trade line and have it be like the regular line that you're adding on there? It looks and feels just like your regular line, but it does just a little bit extra stuff.
Okay.
Right.
What do you think?
So I want to run through and some points here, kick the tires, and you'll just let me know, hey, if there's anything we would modify, if this should not be on the list, or if it's anything I've missed out, if that works for you.
Sounds good.
All right. So first up is the being able to group lines per strategy. So right now, actually this we can actually do directly in TradingView as it is right now. Sometimes I'm trading and I have there's two different styles. You sometimes do a scalp and sometimes you're doing a trend following.
That's right.
And when I am doing a scalp, I want my take profit and stop loss to be able to be set like right when I put right when I put the order on. I don't want to have to think about it. I want to be able to put it on, and then like the candle wicks up, it sends another alert, and I get my profit. Whereas when it comes to with a type stop loss, whereas when I'm doing that for a trend, if I set within the top step prop firm account like a max loss, like I'm willing to take more of a loss when I'm trying to pick up the trend than I am when I'm scalping. So I would love to I have to get into the habit here of grouping, having two sets of lines on my chart, so that I'm not always like using the same lines and scrambling to change what my settings are in order to go from scalping to trend following. So over here, Peter, if you want to show my chart 1 second. So right now in my object tree, I do have here, let me just increase the size of this a bit. I do have a group here of the lines that I use for take profit, stop loss, and enter long and enter short on my chart.
Yep.
So what I'm thinking is that I should group these for scalping, and then have another one that is for trend following, and have it sent. Those alerts are sent to a completely different strategy. So the way that the indicator could work is that I could just toggle from scalping to trend following, and a new set of lines would be associated with that. Because let's say I'm using 4 lines right now. I would have 8 in the script. 4 of them would be for scalping, 4 of them would be for trend following. And when I toggle it off, the alerts are tied to the appropriate lines. And that way, if I switch the toggle, the correct alert will be sent off.
And because it's an indicator-based alert, that allows you to decide what to fire and when to fire it, so you have more control, right?
Yeah, I would still need to create 2 alerts on the same indicator, one that goes to the webhook for the scalping, one that goes to the webhook for the trend. But toggle on and off would modify what alerts actually get fired from that script.
I definitely like it. Right now, I'm having to manually turn off my groups for the chop scalp lines, and then the lines for the all accounts. I have scalp lines. I have another group for a different trading strategy. So it'd be nice if I could define each strategy within the indicator and then toggle that in 2 different directions. Maybe one potential conflict here is that sometimes I'm doing both at the same time. Occasionally, I'll do what I call a scalp overlay, where I'll put in the first leg of a trend following strategy, and then I'll throw a scalp on top of that. If I see momentum in the direction I'm hoping for, and I only need to pick up 15 points, I just throw on a quick scalp. It picks up 15 points of NQ, but it continues to hold the first leg of that MNQ position. And then I add to that as price continues in one direction. If it requires that I'm switching back and forth, then I wouldn't be able to do both at the same time, right? Or would I just need to
I
add
guess it would
2
be more
indicators to the chart?
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Adding 2 indicators to the chart would be the most elegant way of doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Got
All
it.
right. Next up, this whole thing about the signal congestion that happens at the beginning. We've been seeing this at sometimes.
Yeah.
On TradingView, the alerts are not firing right away.
Right.
I'm wondering, I should test this out. I'm wondering if that the script is sending the appropriate signal at the time it's supposed to send, but it's just the alert that's not working, or if it's the indicator. Because I was thinking about tracking to see when the alert fires, if there's a delay in that between the now time and when that signal happens, and if that delay is too much, it disables the indicator so that I can't use it anymore until the time difference is gone. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably happening on the servers for TradingView, not at the indicator level.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's basically 2 copies of everything, and we've seen these get out of sync with each other from time to time. Sometimes the alert will fire, but the webhook takes another 3 or 4 seconds to actually fire in the background, which is all server side. And then sometimes the webhook will fire first, and the alert updates after the fact, 3 or 4 seconds later. So there's clearly 2 separate environments, and TradingView attempts to keep both of these in sync. But every time you save or change the state of an alert, it has to change the state on the server side as well. So you're watching the real-time client-side version of it at the same time that a server-side version of it is looking to execute and fire off a webhook URL or webhook request. So it seems to me that congestion is going to show up, whether it's an indicator, a price alert, a line alert, or a strategy. It doesn't really matter. There's likely going to be congestion regardless.
Do you know if the time that shows there matches the time that it would have crossed, even with the delay? Let's say there's a delay for it. Would that the time be at the time that the action happened, or when the webhook was actually sent? I'm wondering if it's a way. No, it's not.
No, I'm 99% positive that the fire time is not the same as the request time. So when we see an alert come from TradingView and we use the time now placeholder, I'm very certain that that's the time at which they made the request, not the time at which the actual price alert or event was triggered. So there could be a delay between the price triggering an event and the request being made, and that does not get incorporated into the time now factor. Otherwise, we would see it show up on TradersPost. But instead, we always see the roughly 800 millisecond delay that occurs from TradingView to TradersPost.
I see. Okay. Well, then this next feature I think I absolutely need for myself, and that is a checklist feature, where there's these set of rules that I have.
Yes.
That where I want it to be on the chart, a nice little table on the chart with the rules. And in the indicator settings, I have to literally check off that those rules exist. And only when I do that, do the line show up on the chart.
So
and if not,
it's a pre-flight check, and you have to click some buttons before you're even given the throttle. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly. I can't even see where the lines are. Yeah. I think my life will be much easier if I do that, because I keep looking back and go, Tom, like you were saying today, you're above VWAP. You're like, why am I? If we're above VWAP, stay long. From below VWAP, stay short.
That's right.
Or I have to put in, let's say, what's my win rate right now? And if my win rate is whatever, then it's. I want it to literally like scream at me and put things on the chart. Bum, 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 bum. Like, Tom, what you're doing here is not going to work. All right? You're not actually following your rules. I just love the idea. I move the line and goes, hey, you didn't follow these rules. You have to check this before you go. I think that'll be a lot of fun for me to see. Well, when I say fun, I mean annoying and aggravating, but annoying and aggravating in the way that it might make me actually like think twice before I make the mistake.
But it also gives me an idea on how TradersPost will be able to help you with this at some point. As we investigate additional risk management features, we could make it to where we have win rate based controls in place, where if you've lost the last, 7 or 8 trades in a row, it's just TradersPost will just start rejecting your incoming requests. So it doesn't even matter what's happening on TradingView. The rules are set on TradersPost as well.
I mean, I'll take that and the position size modifier.
Yeah.
Like the worst I do, not just because of the size of my account or whatever it is, but literally switches me to 1 micro and that's all I can trade.
Yeah.
Not that I can't do some significant damage with 1 micro, but I think I need it. I think I need it.
I'm with you. I want to spend the next few months here really thinking about the types of risk management controls we can put in. Aventura in the comments here just asked when he can have dark mode so that he can check his dashboard in bed while his woman is sleeping. Totally get that. You don't want to wake her up. It's really important she knows that you're sleeping soundly as well, right? We've had a lot of requests for the dark mode, and I think we're only a couple steps away from supporting it. So that should be coming sooner than some of these advanced risk management features that we're talking about.
Right. All right. The next one I want, and it's driving me crazy, and that is I use the native trading sessions indicator from TradingView, where you put it on. It's the Tokyo session, the London session, the New York session, whatever.
Right.
But it only shows up when I'm in the session. And so the first candle happens for Tokyo, or the first candle happens for London, whatever, and a massive candle happens on the chart. And I'm panicking, not realizing, oh, it's 8 p.m. That's why the chart moved this way. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to scramble. And then the candle V's back. And I'm like, what happened? Well, it was just the opening correction that could happen at the beginning of whatever session.
Yeah.
So I want the line to show me ahead of time, hey, you got 30 minutes before that open happens. All right. Because I keep forgetting that next candle, the next 15 minutes, the next hour candle is the opening session. So just tells me ahead of time.
Tom, you should use my future sessions indicator then that lets you just define those ranges on your chart. I've got mine set up to not just the Asian session and the London session and a window that I've defined when those should start, but I also have my active trading window from the beginning of the session, the lunch break in the middle of the day, and the last hour of the session, so that those are areas to note while I'm on the chart. Things really start to slow down around 11 a.m. for me, and I try to take note of that. So if I'm not in a good trade before that point, then I'm not going to be any trades for the rest of the day.
So does yours plot it ahead of time? Like you can see that this session is coming up?
Yeah, you can define the window and then change the color for it.
Okay, well, that'd be great because I need to know when these things are happening, or I'll check. I'll be like, oh, CPI is coming out today. And I forget to mark it. I forgot.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, right, what happened? Oh, oil was reported at 9:45. That's why everything moved. Oh my God, I totally didn't realize it. Plus, I can have it done like because I don't only want the event on the chart. I want like, hey, if the PMI comes out and that PMI is above 50, this is the sort of effect that you can have on the chart. And if it's below 50, this is a sort of effect that could happen on the chart. And I want that to like be done for me. I want to see that on just notified for me on the chart ahead of time, so that not only do I know the thing is happening, but I know what I'm looking for, as opposed to like scrambling on the economic calendar to see what's going on. All right, so that'll be fun. So future information, future trading session, in order to make stupid Tom pay attention to the clock.
I've got one more for you that you might find interesting. As you know, at the start of the session, I'm always looking to the futures market to determine what the expected move is for the day and the implied volatility of that move. It would be nice to plot out the upper and lower price of that expected move for the session that we're on. It could be as simple as just plotting the exact prices in, but I think the expected move would allow me to do that as well. It goes from the open price of the session, and if I say that the move is expected to be 0.19%, then it would plot the upper band and lower band of that.
So yeah, that'd be great. I think there was something I saw here the other day. Oof, I should have checked on this beforehand. But on the options section in TradingView,
Mhm.
it did provide me the expected move here somewhere. Where was
Oh,
it?
did it? I
I
didn't know it was over
think
here.
so. Was it here? Anyways, I'll try to
You're
find it.
not
But
using these new fancy tools from TradingView for the options market.
well, they're a little bit janky compared to like interactive brokers or whatever.
Right.
But I think I could actually find it in here because if we can do that, then maybe there's a way of pulling that information programmatically as opposed to checking it every day and to get it updated as the options chain updates. I'll actually check that out. That's
Yeah,
actually a good
that would
idea
be
for the
amazing. If we can get the expected move for the either for the Qs, the options on Qs, or the IUXX, that would help us understand how the futures market has implied volatility calculated by the options on those futures. If not the options on the futures contract, then at least the move on the Qs is good enough as a proxy.
Got it. Okay. Next up here, auto break even. There's just something about moving my stop loss up manually to break even or whatever minimum profit level that one I can't do. There's no way to automatically do that in Top Step I'm using. I don't know if you can do that in Apex or whatever. Have like an automatic break even. Well, where you have a break even, like let's say you get into profit and you get into a profit a certain number of ticks, then boom, your stop loss moves to that level of ticks, and then you don't have to worry about it. You're never going to lose money on that position. Do you do that normally for yourself when you're manually trading?
Sometimes I'll move my lines up to break even, yeah. But on Apex accounts, that doesn't matter. Unfortunately, your max net liquidity amount in your account, your max excursion for a trade is still going to drag your daily loss limit up, or excuse me, your maximum loss limit up. So unless you get into profit and push that number higher, that's always going to make it to where your maximum loss limit just gets closer and closer. So you never want to go like $500 up and then suddenly go $500 back down again in the same day, because Apex will count it from the very top, and that will reduce your maximum loss limit by $500. So you really do want to work on break evens as much as possible, especially with Apex accounts. Aventura says he has an auto break even coded into the strategy. I think that's smart. That's definitely a clever way to deal with this problem.
That's interesting. So on Apex, I just really started understanding that today when you were talking about it. That
Yeah,
the more you win, the less you can lose,
that's
and
right.
and it's just this brutal thing of your own successes, in a sense, hurt you. How do
Sure.
you get like? Let's say you is there a period where you've made so much that you can barely take any drop at all? Like if you
It's
went up
totally
two
possible. Yeah.
thousand $999, like you couldn't go down $1 because then you get liquidated and you get
Yeah, you
uh,
could be well into profit, even at 105,000 on a $100,000 account, totally near the target. But if you've had too big of an excursion to the upside and you've drawn down your maximum loss limit too much, you may have $100 left of MLL and blow out the account. Part of that's based on the fact that it's a real-time max drawdown measurement instead of it being end of day. So what helps is the end of day accounts give you a little more cushion to work with, and I think that's why a lot of people navigate to those types of accounts. The other firms will also make it to where once you're in profit, your profit is added to your max loss limit, so that gives you even more cushion to work with. It's another reason I like Tradeify, is because they add your profit to your max loss limit.
I see. Okay. I still think I like an auto break even tool, but it also because the way I trade is that I like to keep my stop loss to, let's say I'm in a long, I want my stop loss to be at the low of the previous close candle,
Okay.
like, and just keep trailing it as long as it's up, keep trailing it. So as soon as it dips down, I get out. Um, Doing it manually, I I can't bring myself to do it when the price is moving pretty dramatically. I can't always bring myself to keep that line up. So I just want it to happen automatically so that I don't think about it. It wicks down and I'm out of the trade.
Do we have a
Um,
candle trailing stop?
in TradingView, like naturally?
Yeah, I don't think that anybody's made an indicator for this. I like what you're describing, and I've heard people use like 2 candle or 3 candle trailing stops, where it just looks at the low, 2 or 3 or 4 candles back, and
Yeah.
each time the price advances, it's advancing the trailing stop as well. So it's a little bit different than obviously the ATR stop that I like to use, because that's based on volatility rather than just the low of the previous candles. Is that something you'd want to whip together in Blueprint as well?
100%. Because
Yeah, I
it's
think
so
a trailing candle one
what
would be cool.
because it mixes the scalping with the trend following stuff. Like it still feels like a scalp,
Yeah,
but I'm not taking myself out of the trade if there's a little bit more to go,
yeah,
or a lot more to go.
yeah.
All right,
The
so I've
one
positioned
downside
in
to
that.
it is if it prints a really big candle, your stop is really, it's still at the bottom of that big candle. So, as long as you're on a lower time frame, you should be able to hopefully advance to the next candle and the stop gets raised in time before it comes all the way back down and stops you at the previous candle.
Well, my personal rule is if it's a big candle, I set it to the middle of the big candle,
Oh,
just so
would
I
you do
don't
that
give up
on
that
this
entire.
indicator?
Sorry.
Would you do that on this indicator?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess
Why
you could
not? All these
measure
little.
like the standard deviation of the candle move. And if it's greater than some amount, then you would do the halfway point on that candle, right?
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I like it.
All right. Next one is a bunch of settings where I want to be able to click into that line and be able to modify basically almost any of the settings that we can actually send to TradersPost, including position size, market order type, um, uh, take profit, stop loss, whatever. I want to be able to double click on that on the line. It opens up the panel. I modify and drop down the settings. I don't have to modify the JSON manually or anything like that. Just a drop downs, and then boom. Now my indicator works that way. And when I hover over and this is something else I wish. When I hover over the line, I want to see what the JSON would look like. I want to be able to in the tooltip. I want to see what that JSON will look like there.
Okay.
And that way I know for sure what's being sent off. I think that would be pretty cool, because I often want to change the positions on the fly, not on the fly, but like I want to change the position, and I'm like rushing to TradersPost to go and click through all my different subscriptions and modify the position sizes, save it, and come back and then do the trade. I'm like, okay, no, there has to be a better way. Alrighty. All right, so that's the last I have in my list here. I'm sure there's all kinds of things we can have, but I'm really thinking in terms of align but upgraded. That's what I really want.
I like it. I like it. I think this is a good step in the direction that we're hoping to get to over the long run. Obviously, in the short term, we want some indicators to help people manage everything from TradingView. In the longer run, we'd like to just incorporate a lot of these tools right into TradersPost with our own charting technology and make it very easy for you to just establish orders that then hit all of your subscribed accounts at the same time. And that's something we're working on in the background.
Well, the idea here is when I'm using TradingView, I go, there's a bunch of tools like the way that it functions that I wish it did. And then when I'm using, let's say, the interface in TopStep, I go, there's a lot of things that I really like, but then this doesn't have a bunch of the things I wish it did. And I go, this is ridiculous. It's so much easier if I just annoy Mike and John in order to add features to TradersPost, make my life a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's it for that. You guys are going to see on Blueprint. I'm going to do a bunch of these things in either going to be one indicator or a set of them. We'll see how we'll toy around with that. I'll actually make them ahead of time and then schedule out a video for each one. So we'll see. And but before we move on to the questions that you guys have submitted over the last week, we just want to have a quick word from our sponsor.
Ask yourself this: are you making trading harder than it needs to be? If you're trading manually or still coding just to connect to your broker, yeah, it's time to upgrade. TradersPost lets you automate trades using signals from tools like TradingView or TrendSpider or even your own custom setup. It works with brokers like TradeStation, Tradovate, Coinbase, and a bunch more. I've been using it myself, and getting started was smooth. The platform's clean, setup's quick, and once it's running, it just works. And when you're ready to scale, adding more strategies, plugging into prop firm accounts, or juggling multiple portfolios, TradersPost handles it It's built to grow with you. Start your free trial at TradersPost.io. Trade smarter, automate your edge.
As always, we want to make Traders Post that much better day in and day out. And for that, we take your feedback, your questions, your testimonials, your feature suggestions in order to make the platform better and to help you out. We have had people write in over the last week. And so we'll start off with the first one from Sergey K, who asks, is it okay to have two different bots with the same token, with the same strategy, but on two different time frames? We've had this question in the past. The idea is, sure, you can always have the two strategies or multiple strategies run on the same account, but you can run into problems. Such as if you're trading the same ticker, you're going to have an issue where the strategies might conflict. So
I think that's what he's
Mike, you were
saying.
talking
Same token, two different strategies. You're going to run into issues if you're not manually or mathematically adjusting the quantity of each of those positions. He said the word token, so I assume we're talking about crypto here.
I thought they meant the token, like an OAuth token from the prop firm. That's what I had understood. My mistake.
Interesting. Okay. No, I'm reading this as two different bots, same token or same cryptocurrency with the same strategy, but two different time frames. You can do it, but let's say I buy 100 of quantity on the first time frame and 100 of quantity on the second time frame, and then I go to exit that position on the higher time frame. If I send the exit command, that's going to liquidate the entire 200 tokens for that holding. So the way you have to manage this then is that you have to be aware of how much quantity should be long or short or long at any given point in time. We only support long right now in crypto anyway. So I buy 100, and then on the second time frame, suddenly it decides to buy 100. I have to sell 100 on the first and then sell 100 on the second. But I have to do these events independently, and I have to be aware that at any point in time there could be a conflict. So in general, we usually advise that you keep your multi-time frame strategies on different exchanges so that there's no conflict between positions. It makes it easier to use our built-in functionality for position management.
Next question comes from Bub G, who asks, I see that you have Apex Trader funding, but I choose to use Tradovate instead. Is there a difference? The broker I choose for Apex is Tradovate, so I'm not sure what Apex Trader funding actually does or allows.
Interesting question. I could see how there's a little bit of confusion. We're working to try to break this down so you understand that there's the concept of a platform and then there's the concept of a prop firm. The platform is where those trades are going to be routed, and that can either be Tradovate or Project X. And we've listed out on our connections page which prop firms are supported by Tradovate and which prop firms are supported by Project X. There is some overlap there where you can choose which platform you've selected during your checkout process with those prop firms. But ultimately, the choice you're making here is based on the platform choice that you made with that prop firm. And if you want things to appear correct on our dashboard, it makes sense to choose Apex as the prop firm, and then you'll choose Tradovate as the platform, and then it'll show up as Apex on your dashboard. If you just choose Tradovate and you enter in your Apex login details, it's going to show up as a Tradovate account on TradersPost, even though it's technically an Apex account. So we do recommend that you choose the path of correctly choosing your prop firm and then choosing your platform.
I was going to actually ask you this. Project X, the API to connect to, if I'm using TopStep or what have you. If I wanted to build something that just showed me like a widget on my computer screen of what my account balances were or whatever, does that conflict with TradersPost? Like, is there really a problem if I log into there as well as on TradersPost? Because when I try to log into TopStep X from two different browsers, I get kicked out. I can't be logged in twice. So I wonder if anyone's tried that.
As far as I've seen so far, I've had no issues being logged into Tradovate and TradingView and TradersPost all at the same time, and never had an issue with conflicting sessions or anything like that. the one thing I would say is Tradovate. If you watch our live stream when we live stream every morning for trading, if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see that my Tradovate account is open, showing my Apex accounts. And I have that same Apex account logged in on TradingView, where I can see the lines of my orders for that one account across the 15 or so that I'm trading. And then TradersPost is connected through its OAuth token as well. So we know for sure that it will work in all three locations and won't conflict with any of the others. I've done the same thing with the Project X accounts too. Like the futures desk had Project X open and had TradersPost connected and had it set up on TradingView. At least from a line alerts perspective, there is no broker connection on TradingView for Project X. So I don't think there's any session conflicts overall. We did get a comment in the stream here while we were talking. Is there any free funded account competition? Not at the moment. We have spoken to a few prop firms about this. And as far as we know, we haven't engaged or haven't heard anything back on the idea of a competition just yet.
Free? Oh, you mean like TradingView's The Leap?
Yeah, kind of like The Leap, or getting a free account with TradersPost if you win a competition. It's something we've considered. I like the idea of competitions in general, especially now that we have a lot of internal data we can work with. When we launch analytics at some point here in the near future, I do think we should explore the idea of a competition on TradersPost where we can monitor your live P&L, and it would start on a specific date. You would have to choose the right asset class, and it would be based on a set of instruments, and we would set up a leaderboard from that. But I think it's totally possible to do.
I love participating in the leaps for TradingView, except for the fact that it's never for the asset classes I actually really deal with, or like I'm not going to trade that chart while I'm trading regularly. So if I could do a competition with TradersPost where it's like, okay, it's a competition with everyone. Everyone could join in. It's like whatever you're trading and you're targeting these sort of metrics, that'd be super, super cool. All right. Next question here from Derek, who asks, currently I have successfully set up a TradingView strategy that sends alerts to TradersPost via webhook. The TradersPost strategy is successfully connected to a subscription, and orders are successfully sending over to my demo NinjaTrader broker account. I love all those succesfullys. I am now ready to send orders to my live NinjaTrader account. Do I have to build everything out again? Or is there a simple way to switch from sending orders to my NinjaTrader demo account to my NinjaTrader live account?
Got it. So if you have set up your strategy so that it copies all of your settings by default to any new subscriptions, then you shouldn't have to go through all those settings all over again. When you go to connect to your NinjaTrader live account, it should copy the settings from your strategy default settings over to that subscription, and then you should be set to go from there. All of our strategy settings by default have this option enabled. If you go to new strategy and you fill out the initial settings, it'll run you through the default settings that will be applied to all new subscriptions. And there's a toggle box that is enabled. If you hit save here, you'll see that at the top it says, do you want to apply these default settings to all new strategies? And that's always enabled by default. So unless you turn that off, there's no reason that all the settings that you walked through won't be applied to your new NinjaTrader live account.
Awesome. All right. Next up, question from Ethan A, who asks, the interface has been very easy to use so far. Thank you, Ethan. A feature that would be cool would be more stats for each subscription. For example, if you have an NQ subscription, being able to see P&L, trades lost versus won, percent profitable, longs won versus shorts, sessions, most traded. That might be more on the brokerages, but it would be a cool feature. Other than that, I love the platform so far and plan on signing up once the trial is over. Thanks.
Man, yes. Ethan, if you only knew what we were working on and what we have been envisioning. So we got some new stuff coming. Stay in your seat for now, and we'll let you know when you can stand up with an applaud and ovation, because we have some really cool stuff coming on the analytics side.
I just imagine it'll be like a night and day difference for the types of expectation people have for the platform. Like now it's a place that you're It's funny. I was talking to Peter today about that, where I go, I spend so much time after I set up my TradersPost thing. I spend so much time on TradingView and then at the prop firm account. I never have to worry what's going on with TradersPost. I just my doors go through, and I just never have to sit there wondering if TradersPost did its job properly. But when the analytics are there, are you kidding me? I'm going to be on that screen all the time, just kicking myself for how poorly I'm doing.
And especially if we get to a point where it's real time, I mean, it basically will end up becoming your source of truth for everything. I want to build in post-mortem analysis. So each trade you take, you can go back and reflect on what happened. Was this a good trade, bad trade, label it. I want to make it to where you can do historical analysis of your best trades within time windows. So if I only want to look at the trades that I take between the open and an hour and a half after the open, is there an improvement in my edge there? So that just tells me right there, I just basically not trade after 10 a.m. my time after the open.
Right.
Things like that, where we're looking to add as much analysis as possible so you can analyze your automated strategies or your discretionary trading on TradersPost.
There are these. I don't know if you've got to play around with the Cloud Code SDK, but there are these tools that people are creating. Some people are saying, well, forget the chat window, like the normal chat box that people are normally used to. You can have these agentic processes that you can, like, for example, strip the transcript from all of our price action lives. It tosses, you toss that into a folder. It'll automatically, if it's a video, automatically transcribe it, analyze it, and then go, hey, these are your best things, or this is how you did well, or these are the clips of the video you want to go over. In order to review your trades. I just love the idea that TradersPost can evolve to the point where it can grab a bunch of the data that you give it, and then it'll spit out, hey, if you do this, you might actually have an easier time. Once TradersPost is like, front running my own failures and protecting me against the downside and activating risk management protections when I'm not even realizing it did it. Like, all these things are what I want the platform to do in order to make the best of me out there.
I love it. I love it. I think the post-mortem analysis, just going back and reviewing those trades, is going to be such a game changer on our platform for helping people understand how time slippage plays a role, commission plays a role, market slippage plays a role. The time at which you get into trades is going to be incorporated there. So we've got a bunch of stuff that I think we're going to incorporate, and then just keep adding on to. So we'll be able to do things like the trading competitions. We'll be able to do risk-based rules where if you have a bad streak, we can basically start to turn off your strategies over time, but keep some of them on. Or you could do win rate based or Kelly criterion. I think there's a lot of exciting things coming around having these analytics built into every strategy and every account.
That's right. All right. Next question comes from Alex S., who asks, how can I remove failed prop firm accounts from the list? You had mentioned today on Price Action Live, Mike. What was the way you can go in and do that? Like on my screen here, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, so if you go to brokers, you can choose your firm. In your case, you can choose, I'll go back to the brokers page. So click on view for Top Step, or just click on Top Step, the word there. And then this is going to list your accounts. Why does your screen look different than I expect here? Have you not, somehow you're on a different page. There you go.
Is this the page you're expecting? Yeah.
Yes. So this one is the list of your connections, and you can see that there's one that failed there. So if you click in the 3-dot menu on that row, you can delete this one from the list, and that will remove it from the session.
All right. Well, I won't delete this here because it'll get reactivated soon, but yeah, absolutely.
Got it. Well, even if you reactivate it, I think with Top Step, you still get a new ID. So it should actually still end up being a defunct account over time.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it there for now, just in case I need to see a failed one in the future.
Yep. So just head to the brokers section and view your connected accounts, and then you can delete out the ones that have failed. I did that today, so it will simultaneously pick up any new ones you've added, and you can delete the old ones manually from this list.
Got it. All right. And our last question comes in. Someone asks, why did equities and Bitcoin sell off? When moon? Thanks. Stay tuned on
What's
Price
your
Action
take?
Live. We'll let you know when when moon is on its way. All right,
My
guys. So
take
that's it.
on all of this is still uncertainty. I don't think the market really understands the total impact that tariffs are going to have on the economy. A lot of this is very lagging data, and I guess we'll just keep an eye on how earnings start to show up over time. That's going to be, the initial leading indicator. Is our companies still profitable? The other question has been what is the lasting impact of higher interest rates on businesses that are trying to finance their business overall, the operations of those businesses. That cost of capital has been fairly expensive for some time now, and some businesses are looking to refinance at the moment, and it's difficult for them to do at these current interest rates. So that's going to have an impact on earnings as well. I would expect that if these next few reports start to show up negative, that we see a continuation of this downturn, but we'll see.
That's sad. So what we actually need is, one, we allow for third-term presidencies, and then we bring back Obama, and that way we're going to have markets at all-time highs again. Clearly, that's the formula. Let's go ahead and do it.
I don't know if Obama helps the situation, nor did third terms, but yeah, let's see.
We won't know unless we try it, Mike. We won't know unless we try it. It's worked great in Canada. Just let them rule forever. Nothing's bad has ever happened. All right, that's it for our questions for this week. If you guys have any questions for next week, please go ahead and leave them in YouTube comments. Send them as support tickets or messages within the back end of TradersPost. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. for some live trading on Price Action Live. And I think we might actually, in addition to the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think I might do it again on Sunday at 6 p.m. If people not only want to trade live with us, we'll stream it in Discord as well. But if you have any questions about using TradersPost, if you have any issues, people were popping in, they had questions. Hey, help me set up this, help me set up that. It's a much slower environment because the markets just open on Sunday night, and it's easier to walk you through some of these some of the fixes you need on your account. Happy to do it. But until then, we'll watch out for Blueprint on Thursday, after hours on Friday, and as always, we wish you a happy trading.
Cheers, everyone.